The sunlight came out today, although it's still cloudy and it feels significantly colder. It almost feels like it could start snowing anytime. And with that in mind, what's going on today? I guess I was reading this first. I've seen a lot of videos of this Boston Dynamic company and its robots. How about this one where it's doing all these tricks? It seems like it's actually getting smart where it can build platforms and so forth. This one says sick tricks and tricky grips. With a new routine where Atlas assists a simulated job site, Boston Dynamics engineers have pushed the humanoid robot one step closer to performing real-world manipulation tasks at human speed. So it talks about how in the past you saw this robot doing things, for example, flips, it danced and all that, but now it's actually trying to simulate a situation where it's helping someone on the job site, for example. It says, in the most recent video from Boston Dynamics called Atlas Gets a Grip, the robot manipulates the world around it. Atlas interacts with objects and modifies the course to reach its goal, delivering a bag of tools to a person waiting at the top of a multi-story scaffold. In the most recent video from Boston Dynamics called Atlas Gets a Grip, the robot manipulates the world around it. Atlas interacts with objects and modifies the course to reach its goal, delivering a bag of tools to a person waiting at the top of a multi-story scaffold. Atlas grabs, carries, and tosses a tool bag, climbs stairs, jumps between levels, and pushes a large wooden block out of its way before dismounting with an inverted 540-degree flip that project engineers have dubbed the sick trick. This is crazy. I was reading too how to train this robot or to do experiments. At first they simulate it with a computer where they say it's almost like a video game. I would say looking at this, it does seem like it's a video game with the way this robot's doing it. Can you imagine this in the future doing regular work versus an employee? Would you actually think that's great or bad? I just know in general, you either think it's really cool for a robot to be able to do this, at the same time it makes people worried. When's Judgment Day coming where these robots are going to take over in every single way? People can use tech in a good or bad way, and how about this one? Apparently it dealt with an underwater drone using nuclear weapons and all that. This one says, Russia says its unstoppable nuclear underwater drone is ready to go. Russia has finished building its first batch of nuclear-capable underwater drone torpedoes, nicknamed Poseidon. Is that how you say it? According to state-owned news agency TASS. According to TASS, Poseidon is meant to be used in Russia's new nuclear-powered Belgorod submarine. Billed as an unstoppable super torpedo by both Putin and some Western news outlets, the Poseidon is another unknown and unproven Russian weapon. They say it's unproven, but I don't think you want to be in the area when they quote test it. It says, according to the Kremlin, work on these new nuclear weapons has borne fruit. It said it tested a launch of the Satan II in April 2022. Earlier this month, it announced that it had deployed the Zircon hypersonic missile on a ship that planned to tour the world's seas. The Skyfall and Poseidon have been remained more mysterious, and TASS provided no official confirmation from the Russian Ministry of Defense about the completion of the torpedo's construction. Still fighting, I guess, around the world in many places. Although this one was a lighter note and it sounded like it was using tech in a good way, this one says how drones and AI could help stem the spread of a plant invading Quebec parks. It says here, the next time you're in one of Quebec's provincial parks, take a look around. Notice anything that shouldn't be there? You likely wouldn't, as a pesky invasive plant wreaking havoc on local biodiversity called the common reed holds true to its name. The alien grass can be spotted across much of the province and the country, spreading through marshes and in ditches along the highways. Is that true over there? And by the sounds of it, they first used the drone to, in a sense, document where the plants are. And it says to conduct his field research throughout May and September 2022, he used 2 large drones to take a multitude of high-resolution aerial photos, flying them through the air to map the area below in detail. He took these photos back to the lab and fed them into an AI program that he trained to look for common reed plants from above. Once the AI knows what it's looking for, it can analyze new photos in minutes or even seconds. Karen Gui says his program, for which preliminary results show about 90% accuracy, can be used to speed up the work of park conservation officers. So it's kind of interesting, basically taking the photo and it's kind of like recognition of sort. which makes you think too, if it literally is just taking a photo and then this thing can determine, oh, I see this and that, wouldn't that help if just average people too, let's just say they took a picture and so forth and they're like, oh, here, scan it for any issues and all that. Because as they say, without the drone, it would take a long time, saying here, quote, if you had someone really go out in the field with a pen and paper, maybe taking pictures, maybe taking some samples, that would be a really long project without the drone. But now with the technology, you could have lots of data and just maybe one person doing the work of, let's say, 10 botanists in the field. But that doesn't mean that technology will take over all human aspects of it. Again, I would imagine the more people actually being able to capture it and so forth would actually be useful in the future, because you never know. Maybe something will pop up during a certain time and someone else is going to capture it by accident, which could be beneficial, which has happened a lot in recent times with things like animal discoveries and all that. It's kind of funny too, because like here in these places, a lot of people will say, don't fly there ever because of nature and all that, yet they're doing it for work and research, so you got to be consistent there too, correct? Alright, see you guys later.